another banger. Peace. Welcome back to another dope session of Hoodies the Podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi. This is Beating the Dead Horse, Part 3. Who's your master? Ooh, who is your master? Alright, listen. It just dawned on me recently that although I like to think that I am my master, I to a degree I am, right? But if I'm being honest with myself, if I'm really being honest with myself, I got a few masters. That don't make me feel good either. And I would say all of us have a few masters. But I'm only going to speak about myself, at least in this segment right here. Check it. Right? Your master is anybody who can change you into who you are not. Right? Or anybody who can change you and who you try not to be. And I probably just said the same thing twice. But I think y'all get it. So listen. Me and the landlord of this space right here, Skill, the barbershop, had some words. He was giving me shit about my pool table. You went to get a permit for the business and not the permit for a pool table, which sounds dumb, right? Who the hell gets a permit to have a pool table in their barbershop? It's a hazard. Move it. I don't want it there. Psst. I'm not moving my pool table. And you obviously don't know barbershops. I don't know barbershops. It's obvious that this elderly Korean man don't know much about black barbershops, right? Then he says, well, when the contract is up, I won't renew with you. Now, meaning he's not going to renew the lease with me. You can't say things like that to a man like me. You just can't do that. That's a trigger for a brother like me. You're threatening to not do business with me. You're forcing me to have to look to relocate. You just can't say stuff like that to me, even if it is just words, right? It's triggering. And the thing about triggering is that people say and or do things specifically to trigger you, right? And I missed that. So check it. That's when I don't care. I'll move then. I'll move. I don't like how you do business anyway, man. You don't like how I do business? I'm trying to sound like an elderly Korean man. I'm probably failing miserably, right? So he sends an inspector to come and determine if the pool table is if the pool table being here is a hazard or not. So he tried to play it off and come and be like, yeah, I came to inspect, all the units, because there's 5 units here. I came to inspect all the units when, yeah, all right, okay. So she does, she hit me on the emergency light, which I knew she would, because I was in the process of changing out the old one. She just happened to come when I was in that transition. Anyway, so when she's done, I asked her, I was like, yo, so what's the deal with the pool table? She says to me, oh, you put me on the spot, aren't you? I'm like, why you say that? Because, the landlord said something about it. So she determined, long story short with the inspector, that she determined that the pool table was not a hazard. Like I knew it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't matter to the man of them. Didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Then another day, he started questioning me about the brother that comes to clean my windows. Been cleaning my windows for the past 5 or 6 years. Who's that man that was just here? I'm looking at this man like, yo, I don't work for you. I don't work for you. I don't have to give you a play-by-play who's coming in and out of here. He's making it sound as though he's the owner of this establishment and I'm like the manager or something and I got to answer to him. You understand? So I had to tell him like, sure, I don't work for you. I don't have to give you play-by-plays about my business. It's your property, sure, but this is my business. This is my business. And that's when you just make sure that when you leaving, you submit a 90-day letter of non-renewal. A letter 90 days out from you to let him know that you're not going to renew the lease. It's called a letter of non-renewal. So I did that. Man, that's what we're not going to do is come in my place of business and boss me around. I'm not doing that. So I submitted the letter. Months go by, looking for spaces. Got close to signing the new lease with some new folk, then he switched up in the 25th hour. The deal went flat. Either that or my credit was just a few points off and they wasn't trying to budge at all. So for months, this went on. It's fucking exhausting, man, for real. This is exhausting. So, listen, man. I ate crow. You know what I'm saying? And yep, that shit tastes nasty and bitter. I ate crow. Current landlord came in to pick up the check for the month, and I had a talk with him. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, think we could work something out? He was like, yeah, sure. Something could always be worked out. And it was rough. We yelled. I pulled out the contracts and got straight to the facts. Like, listen, man, I spread all the papers out on the pool table. Like, yo, man, show me in here where it says I can't have my pool table in here. First, he tried to play stupid and say, well, why was you going to leave anyway? I'm like, because of you. So we went through it. You know, like I said, I brought out the contract and the facts. You know what I'm saying? So even though I ate crow, I never backed down. I never backed down from what I felt was right and just. You know what I'm saying? And something strange happened. I got through to the man them. I got through. And from that feast of crow, I saw the landlord. I saw the landlord. You know what I'm saying? A stubborn, old Korean man, prideful. I saw him. You know what I'm saying? And then he started smiling. But this was a different smile. It wasn't a smile like, yeah, I got this nigga. I knew he wasn't making no moves. Nah. This was a smile of relief. You know what I'm saying? The relief that he knew that he wasn't losing a tenant. You know what I'm saying? Then he starts complimenting me. Weird. You always was a good businessman. I never had no problems from you in the 10 years you've been here. That man was relieved. He was relieved. That last unit, he's been having a rough time trying to keep it leased. It ain't like people will come and not stay. So he won't be giving me no more shit about my pool table. In fact, he won't be giving me no more shit about nothing. Unless, of course, I knock a wall down. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, after our conversation, he won't be bothering me about my pool table no more. So it turns out that I won't be relocating at all. You know what I'm saying? And don't think I ain't relieved too. Don't think I'm not relieved. I'm glad in the motherfucking I ain't leaving. I hate moving. You know what I'm saying? However, listen, if I ever find myself in that position again, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I'm gonna use a realtor to do all the footwork because that's rough. You know what I'm saying? I'm using a realtor. You know what I'm saying? And my credit will never be an issue again. Trust me. I learned something from that experience that money can't buy. You know what I'm saying? I'm now a smarter businessman because of it. Right? All right. So to you, the Hoodies audience, the question is, in this scenario, who was my master? Damn sure wasn't me. At least not in the beginning. Who was my master? Yeah, the landlord was out of pocket, hands down. Hands down, Among them was out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's your property for sure. But you can't boss around your tenants. You gotta check with me first before you put this, that, and the third in your shop. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. That's like your landlord saying, well, my bad. That's like your landlord saying, I don't want this couch right here in your apartment or in your whatever. Can't do that. They can't question you about who's coming in and out of your space. Sure, it's their property, but that's your home. You dig what I'm saying? So when the landlord said, I won't renew the lease with you, that's when I was triggered. And remember when I said people try to trigger you for a reason. Because when I was triggered, that's when my ego took over. And then I went hard in the paint after that, trying to find a space. You know what I'm saying? Had I had the conversation about working something out sooner, knowing how stubborn the landlord is. Listen, we talk about knowing our opponents, right? Well, knowing my opponent, I could have been had that conversation, knowing that money is what softens the heart of stubborn men. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do that. Instead, I followed suit just like he did. He was trying to trigger me. I was trying to trigger him. You know what I'm saying? I followed suit. I pulled out my dick. Shit, I'll leave then. You know what I'm saying? Listen, women ain't the only ones that just be talking sometimes. Men do it too. My ego in this situation was my master. My ego was partly responsible for everything I went through this summer. So yeah, I ate crow. You know what I'm saying? And looking at how happy the landlord was, I'd like to think that he did too. You know what I'm saying? I just made the first move. Because you never get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. And I know that's beating a dead horse, hence the title. Word. I had a past employee once. I've had quite a few, right? But this one in particular was a felon. If you know me, or familiar with the different regimes I've had in here, you already know who I'm talking about, right? In fact, it's something that you will come to know of him if he's around you. What do I mean by that? What do I mean that that's something that you'll come to know of him? You know how some people keep their personal business to themselves? You know what I'm saying? Some people put their business out there because they feel like, you know, their experience could help somebody else. Somebody else can relate to it, right? But that ain't the case here, right? At some point, if you spend some time with him, he'll tell you that he spent some time in the joint. Just like any other job, you as an employer, you lay down the rules of engagement. They read those rules, they sign it, bang, right? As time goes on, infraction after infraction, I don't play those games. So this barber, who is unlicensed and probably still is, I call the school he came from. Word gets back to him, and he feels a way about it. Some broad had told him some shit that I supposedly said, and got up in his head, right? Comes in to work, you know what I'm saying? That's what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? At first, he was passive aggressive about it. Mumbling loud. Well, no, he was mumbling low, but loud enough to where people could hear. You know what I'm saying? Loud enough so that you knew that something was going on with him. So I asked him, yo, B, you all right? Already knowing what time it is, right? That's when he let it out. And he blew up. Yo, why you call the school? You a fake nigga. It was loud. I had a client in my chair at the time, and I let him know, I don't need your approval to check on the business of my business. I don't need your approval, right? And long story short, I gave him and the broad that he came with the pink slip. And then he want to hit me with, hey, I'm a felon, man. Hey, you don't want it with me. I'm a felon, fam. I'm a felon. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. That felon shit, that's the lamest shit ever. That shit is lame. If you gotta remind people, you know what I'm saying, that you a felon in the middle of a standoff, then you ain't really trying to do nothing. You ain't trying to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you gotta resort to, that means what you've already been doing ain't intimidating. It means don't nobody care anyway. I think that's lame as fuck to bring that up. You know what I mean? That means you just talking now. You know what I'm saying? And again, it ain't just men that talk. I mean, it ain't just women that talk. Men talk too. Men do it too. And think about it. What exactly about your poor life decisions is supposed to help intimidate me? What do I care? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Especially when now you fat and overweight. What you about to do to somebody? Fast forward another time. Same brother comes back some time later and he apologized. Held himself accountable. I respected him for that. Even offered him a job. That wasn't a good move. He still wasn't licensed and it didn't last long anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now, all of you know about my mentoring program, the Skill Youth Chess Club, right? Okay, two young men joined my program, and these two young men are the sons of a young lady that's affiliated with the former employee. So these two young men joined my program, and they stayed for a time, right? What they lacked, in my opinion, was a man at home. A man like at home, some structure. You know what I mean? As time went on, I had issues with them. Reoccurring issues, and I found it best that they were no longer a part of the group. They became disruptive and a distraction, and it was best that they left and did something else, maybe play football or whatever. So I expressed that to their moms. I expressed that to her. Went to her car. As they went and got in, her car let her know this program is not for them. Every week is the same thing. This program is not for them. Boom. She says, all right. She rolls out, right? Days later, right? I told you their moms was affiliated, is affiliated with my ex-employee, right? Y'all still with me? All right, cool. So I get this text from this dude. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I heard you lost your cool. Whatever happened to controlling your emotions, bruh? I see this. I'm like, fuck, hold on. Play that. I called him. About to go back and forth with you. Fuck you talking about? What you talking about? Right? So I called him. You know, fuck texting. I called him. I'm holding my phone like I'm really calling him for real. But here's the thing. Do you think he answered? Nope. He didn't answer. He didn't answer. And after I hung up, he texted me. Says, yo, I can't talk right now. Can I call you back? I'm at a Halloween party. It's a grown man. Probably about 40 something. Right? Why start a conversation if you can't dig into it? Right? You know what I'm saying? Why do that? That's why I say a lot of us men are running around here doing things that our fathers should have schooled us about. You understand? He should have taught us better about our fathers. Anyway, he continued to text and say, yeah, you aggressive with women. You know what I'm saying? I see how you move. I don't even know where the hell that even came from. You know what I'm saying? Apparently this woman that he's affiliated with told him that I was aggressive with her. Straight up lie. He texted more and more. And then he says, I ain't making no big deal no more. She ain't tripping no more. So you good. Still never called me. We still never had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Still never had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? He could have just called me just to get another take on the situation. Just to get, well, there's more than one side to a story. Right? He just went off what that sister told him. He just went off that. And that's the reason why I say to men, never ever approach another man or just go at another man in any form of with malice based off something a woman said. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it. Look, man, I was pissed off. I was seriously pissed off. I mean, I was beyond pissed, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And you can take that for how you want to take it. And I'm grateful that I have a switch and I can turn it off. It ain't easy, but I did. You know what I'm saying? In that scenario, I was my master. I decided to let that shit go. But the question is, good people, the question is, who was his master in this scenario? This is a no-brainer. Women are his master. One woman had him making a fool of himself in the barbershop. Because listen this, right? If you go into the place where you work, right, and you curse out the owner and or management, right, and the owner and or management in response fires you, lets you go, or whatever you want to call it, if he gives you a pink slip based off you going in there and cursing them out, and they fired you in response, you didn't check them. They checked you. And all you did was get loud. They, on the other hand, had you pack all your shit and get the fuck on. you and your friend. In the second scenario, he could have gone outside to have a conversation. I'm at a Halloween party. You could have went outside, sat in your car, walked down the block a little bit and get a better understanding as to what happened. See what I'm saying? He just heard one side. He just heard her side and ran with it. And I don't have to tell y'all that many men have gotten hurt behind that. Seriously. So who's your master? Ask yourself that. It's my mom's. Hold on, y'all. It's my mom's. Real quick. This is highly irregular, but it's my show. So hold on. It's funny. She's asking me how the relocating thing is going. Real quick, I had a conversation with the landlord. We came to an agreement and reconciled. So I won't be relocating after all. Thanks for asking, Ma. Heart. Now, who the hell is this texting me now? Sorry, y'all. My bad. Everybody wants to communicate all of a sudden. Oh. Well, that's nice. Books on wheels. All right. Where was I? My bad, y'all. So unprofessional. But check it. Real quick, before I get out of here, I would just like to say this. Right? For those of you who believe in the voting process, ask the president of your choice or the candidate of your choice about reparations. Heard that before, right? Beating the dead horse. Personally, I don't ever think reparations is going to happen. But if it's still on the table, you might want to, if you can, have a conversation like that with the candidate of your choice. You know what I'm saying? You might want to tell them to keep that check. Keep the check. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is tell them to break the descendants of slaves off with no taxes for the foreseeable future. He said it's been 500 years. I say it's more. For the foreseeable future, no taxes. Not only that, right? No taxes and free education vouchers. Okay? And not just for institutions of higher learning, but to private schools. Free vouchers. So all, a student would have to do, you know what I'm saying, to get into a private school, I don't know, charter school, whatever, all you'd have to do is just study to get in. And don't get me wrong, I know some of our people is still gonna fuck up with that. You know what I'm saying? Even Marcus Garvey said everybody's not going. Everybody ain't going. But for those of us who would take advantage of such an opportunity, bam, there you go. No taxes and free education vouchers should be reparations, because a check don't really make sense. A lot of us, not all, are not financially literate. We don't really know a lot about money besides spending it and blowing it. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately giving it back. That's what I believe in my heart will happen. You know what I'm saying? I would suggest that unless the candidate of your choice is willing to talk and consider reparations, you shouldn't give them your vote. You know what I'm saying? You're giving them something, they should give you something in return. I mean, shit. Who's your master? Chew on that for as long as you need to. I'm Nagar Rashidi, and this is Hoodies. And we might beat another dead horse. I might be done. Then I might not be. Because I am my master. Peace, y'all. Stay up.
Subscribe to this channel. Over and out.